I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. The Meidas Mighty is undefeated. I want to show you this question I received from a member of the Meidas Mighty during one of our exclusive Zoom Patreon chats that we just had over this past weekend. One of the things we do, if you go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch and you join one of the memberships there, is every month we hold the Zoom chat, and anybody who wants to meet us and ask us questions, we answer every single question, no matter how long it takes. And it was no different on this last session. Again, you just go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MEIDASTOUCH. And the question that I got asked, which I want to show you, which I see a lot in the comments, is, Ben, like, how does the MeidasTouch Network do so much content? How do you do so many videos in a day? And I want to show you that clip right now, but I want you to stay until the end because I actually have a very, very, very important message for each and every one of you that I really want you to hear. So let's play this exchange.
Ben, I watch like your videos every single day, and you mentioned how you are a professor, you're a lawyer, you do like 8 podcasts a week and all these other videos. So I just wanted you to kind of walk us through like a day in the life of Ben Meiselas.
I want to hear this too. I'm just
this is a great question. I love
how you fit everything into one day. It just doesn't, like, are there 2 of you with their clone? how does it work?
It's a really good question, but the one thing that because I spend the time to, and I really read the material. So like when there was a question that was asked earlier about Pence, right? And I was able to give you that analysis and pretty much give you the Supreme Court case, the year of the Supreme Court case, the counter arguments. Like, that's something that I could have that piece of knowledge there. So the next time a Pence story comes up, it's not like I'm reading the story from the beginning in my own kind of mind. So if there's a new breaking news, something happens with Pence, the whole story is kind of loaded and saved in my mind. And then I could usually do the video about what happens in one take. Because if I don't script the videos either. So I literally will just, I will find the news, I'll read the filing, and then I could usually do it in one take on that. Whereas if there was a whole major production, by the time, you have 18 different edits, that could take, 2 or 3 hours to do one video. But I could pretty much read the story in 15 minutes, read a court filing if it's long in about 20 minutes, and then get you a good analysis, completely all done, edited, ready to go, within 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And that's how we could break the news quickly as well. But a basic day in my life, I wake up, it depends on the day, but 6 a.m. depends. Mondays and Wednesdays I teach at USC from 10 to 11:50. So 2 days I teach at the law school there. But that's only an hour and 50 minutes. Usually I'll do 2 videos right away when I wake up in the morning. So I'll bank those 2 videos, send them over to Brett. So by the time I leave the house, get a cup of coffee, 2 videos are already done. I'll teach my course. I'll come back, depending on the day. The stories we've been following. So for me to do a podcast of it, it's kind of bringing in a new personality. So whether it's Michael Popak or Michael Cohen or the brothers, we can cover the story from the perspective with the theme of the brothers. Cohen has his own perspective, Popak has his own, and then the personality that I try to bring to each of those podcasts also, and some episodes I'm better than others at it though, is to also let the various personalities I work with, let their voice shine as well. And because I know the stories, I can react to it. We do it all live. And so there's no cuts ever. So if we had to edit it and chop it up, that would take really long to do also. So I got to get it all done in one. Everything I do is in one take. So that's part of the way we can get it done, the way we do it right away. And then, it's now become a life's mission. So everything I try to do it with 100% of the passion that, that I give it. But if you figure in the day, 2 videos in the morning, 2 videos in the afternoon, maybe 3, that's about 5 videos a day. Takes me about 30 to 45 minutes to do each one. That's about what, 4 hours right there. I can teach for an hour and 50 minutes a day. That's 6 hours right there. I could practice, be a litigator for the remaining 5 or 6 hours, do 2 podcasts. That's 10 hours, 11 hours, have some dinner, go to sleep.
How do you guys how do you cut up like all of the clips that you play like in your videos? Like are you doing that like in real time live, or is someone else like putting those up for you?
On the podcast, we do it live. But we have an incredible editor and producer, and we call him Salty. So sometimes you'll see us say salty this or salty that. But on the video clips that we do, I will text Salty the articles or the assets that I want to put in there, whether it's the videos or photographs or whatever it is. And I'll say, and here's the video, or play the clip. And he'll have gotten a text message of the video that I'll send along with it. So I'll send him the title, the description, and the assets, the videos, the photographs, if it's a court filing. And at this point, Salty's such a pro that he knows exactly how I really want to do it. So I don't even have to second guess it. But on the podcasts, we have a list of all the assets. I call him up live, and he'll know based on how the prompt of it. We'll have a small outline before the pod, and I'll say, and play the video of Donald Trump saying this. And you'll notice when I'm doing it, I slow down a little bit when I'm announcing the clip, and I'm giving the producer time to pull up the clip. So I'll always say something. There's that great clip where Donald Trump said that and leaned into this complete fascist thing, and he specifically said this. I think we've got the clip. We're going to pull that clip up in just one moment. Let's play the clip now, and that's just giving him time to kind of pull it up. But that's the strategy in a nutshell, right there. That's the day.
When you do a video, though, so Salty's got to be there like every time you do a video, like he's there, he's available to do it.
No, I do the videos on my laptop, the exact same setup you see now when we're not doing a live pod. And I will do a video just on my video app on my computer. Again, there's no scripts. There's no scripts ever. There's no teleprompter. It's just, it's all one take from my own kind of memory of it. And then I'll end the video, and then I'll put it in a Dropbox file. And then I'll text Salty, done. Here's the description. And then Salty will put it in our queue. And then depending on its priority, if it's breaking news or if it's kind of an evergreen content, we'll stack it on one of those areas. It's a great question, and actually no one's ever asked me before what the chat
started a rumor that you're actually a twin, and I'm going to go into that and lean into that conspiracy. I think there's 2 of you.
No, there's no twins, but the key is to just know the story. And then usually a story builds off another story. And that's what the media does. Like if you read their story, the news story is usually the first 2 paragraphs, then they give you the context. And so by creating that database in my mind, I could kind of give you the history of it and then give you what happened now. So that's the process there. I had so much fun on our Patreon Zoom chat. Again, if you want to sign up, just go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Join one of the memberships there and meet us at the next Zoom chat. But here's what I really wanted to say. So thanks for waiting until the end, which is I appreciate in the comments, I appreciate the question that you all think that I work very, very hard. I'm grateful that you think that. And look, do we make a lot of videos? Do we put out a lot of pro-democracy content? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, just think about how hard you work. That's what I think about every day when I do this. I mean, look, I am so blessed to be able to make these YouTube videos every single day. Like I view this as such a blessing that I even have this opportunity to do this. But what I think about every day is you. What I think about is the MeidasTouch community. I think about how hard you're working. And I think about the working conditions of just Americans in general. And the messaging that I want to put out there is I know how hard you're working to put food on the table for your family. I know how hard you're working so that you can get a birthday present or holiday gifts for family members and loved ones. I know how hard you're working so you can do things that you enjoy in your life. I know how hard it is you're working to put a roof over your head and a roof over the head of your family members. And then I know how hard MAGA Republicans are working to stop that. How hard they are working to try to make sure that Americans have to continue to work 3 or 4 jobs and don't get fair wages. That's what motivates me to do these videos each and every day, that I want to make sure we fight back against this whole idea of trickle-down economics where let's make the billionaires even richer. Because if you make the billionaires even richer than they already are by giving the billionaires all of the benefits, perhaps the billionaires will be so gracious that they will make things better for everybody else. Come on, we know that that is a fallacy. The heart and soul of America is America's workers. It's not corporations. It's not billionaires. It's American workers. And I know how hard American workers work. And American workers deserve not just fair wages, but wages with dignity. They deserve great working conditions, right? They deserve access to healthcare, access to education that is affordable. They deserve the best. And it's important that we don't just, say messages or whatever. It's actually the conduct. It is passing legislation like the types of legislation that took place during the last congressional session when Democrats had control of both the House of Representatives and the Senate and passed legislation. And if you want to see how far we've fallen, this was from Wednesday morning. And this is when Speaker of the House, the weakest Speaker of the House in history, Kevin McCarthy, makes Marjorie Taylor Greene Speaker pro temp. Here, watch this.
The Speaker's Rooms, Washington, D.C., March 8, 2023. I hereby appoint the Honorable Marjorie Taylor Greene to act as Speaker pro tempore on this day. Signed, Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Pursuant to the order of the House of January 9th, 2023, the chair will now recognize members from the list submitted by the majority and minority leaders for morning hour debate.
And so I appreciate the question. I appreciate the comments when y'all think, when you say, Ben, you're working so hard, you're working. I really am grateful for that. And I see it. I see the love in the comments. But just know that I'm blessed to be able to do these videos. That's how I feel. I feel lucky. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm so motivated to make these videos and to make this content with my younger brothers so that we could help be your voice, so that we can make sure that your work goes noticed, that your work is appreciated, that your work is valued. That's ultimately what's at the heart of the MeidasTouch movement. Thank you all so much for watching this. I am Ben Meiselas. Oh, and if you want to join our Patreon, just go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch and now subscribe. We're marching to 1 million subscribers on this YouTube channel. So please hit the subscribe button right now.
Love this video? Then you'll love the MeidasTouch podcast. Listen as my brothers and I break down the latest news and chat with top political leaders on the fastest growing pro-democracy podcast in the world. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday. Add the MeidasTouch podcast right now wherever you listen to your podcasts.